You know, there's a lot of women in this world today that are extremely broken on the inside. They lack life on the inside. And it's like when you have a person that, for example, they'll cut their wrists, like that's what they do, um, it falls along the lines of other types of mental illnesses. But you've heard somewhere in your life about a girl that would cut her wrist or cut her legs, and it was just something that she felt led to do and could not stop doing it. you know Two things: the reason why she or he, because men have been known to do this too, the reason why they're doing this is because they feel so dead inside within themselves that they're crying out for something that they can feel, because they're so numb and dead on the inside. So what they'll do is some people do other things that are even more harmful. But what some will do is they will, cut their arms, or cut around their wrists, or cut their legs. They'll find a place on their body to cut, because believe it or not, it's the feeling of the pain with whatever they're using, a blade, a knife, or whatever. But it's the feeling of that pain as they are cutting themselves that makes them feel in a sick way, but makes them feel alive again. And you got a lot of dead women right now walking around. They may not cut themselves, okay? Maybe for them, they've always been in an abusive relationship, or they were molested as a child and they never healed from it. So they seek men that will end up abusing them, and most of them already know this, because they know the type of men that they are purposely seeking out to attract. But they stay in these relationships, or stay dating these types of men, because it's the abuse from the man to that very woman, that it's that pain that makes her feel alive. Now, this is not a good thing by any means. This is not a positive thing. But when you're so dead on the inside, you just feel so filthy and numb and dead. You do things to try to it's that little child in you that's crying out for some help, and you'll get it, and in any way you can. And the majority of the time, the same way that it was instilled in you is the same way you seek for it in the future as an adult. So you've got women that, if all they've ever known is abuse and be it emotional, mental, spiritual, sexual, physical, what have you, that very demonic spirit of that pain is what they will seek after. If they have not healed from it, it's what they will seek after in the future. It's that very pain that they'll seek after, because when they're being hit in the face, when they're being told that they ain't nothing, that makes them feel like they're alive. It feeds that demonic spirit within them that was placed there by that very form of abuse to begin with in the first place so long ago. So when you're dealing with a victim, And that's a whole nother video, because you got a lot of women walking around like diamonds, but they're really just victims because they haven't healed from it. And it's that victim mentality that keeps them going. So let's say the woman finally met a man that actually showed her any form of respect. She wouldn't know how to deal with it because she hasn't dealt with her own demons. So she'll know, well, if I get into a relationship with this man, I know he's probably just going to end up beating me like the last one, but she does it anyway. So just like the woman or the girl that cuts herself, it's their way of trying to feel alive again, but really it's not making them feel alive. It's really just making that demonic spirit within them even that much stronger. As a deliverance minister, I've witnessed a lot of things, and I read people extremely well. But I just wanted to do this short video just to try to explain that to some people. Deliverance is there, but a slave that loves their chains will never be free. And if you're more in love with the pain that was put inside of you, which has now formed into your chain, you will never break free from it. And you got a lot of people walking around now that would rather die bound than to live free. Why? Because it's a whole lot easier to stay the same than it is to have to change. And that woman, another reason why she wouldn't take that man that would treat her with respect is because she knows that before that relationship can go to the next level, she's gonna have to strip herself down and look at herself for who she really is, for who she's allowed herself to become. She's gonna have to strip away the pain, to strip away all of the agony and pain that she's allowed herself to experience. Now, I'm not saying that every bad experience is something we've brought on ourselves, but specifically speaking on the victim mentality, a person that hasn't healed from their pain. A lot of women who are these type of women, would rather choose the guy that's just going to hurt them in the end than the man that's really there to really help them. Because it's a lot easier to stay the same than it is to have to change. And a lot of women and men would rather close the door to the void within themselves. They would rather keep the pain on the inside and continue to live as they would like to live, because that way they don't have to deny their flesh, right? Then to actually try to heal themselves from within, to get that relationship, to get that healthy relationship. So these are just some things to keep in mind if you are the victim, or if you are not, if you know someone who is. All they're doing, they think that they're helping themselves, but all they're doing is digging a deeper hole. I just wanted to share that with y'all today.